Thank you, Mayor. Yes, sir.
I gotta bring water. I've been losing my voice, so that's just in case. So I'll first start off by just addressing what the mayor mentioned regarding Mr. Woodley being an out-of-state resident. He was arrested and prosecuted in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, for stealing an automobile. Essentially, he was let out of the Wisconsin State Prison in May of 2024. A little less than 2 months later, he found himself in Olive Branch, Mississippi, and that's when this occurred. So now that we got the case from the city, we did not want him to have the opportunity to reoffend, whether that is here or elsewhere. So we took it to a grand jury, and then we ultimately took it to a circuit court. The charges can change a little bit as the process unfolds. He ended up pleading guilty to 3 different felonies. One is strong arm robbery. The other is take car, which is basically stealing a car. And the third is felony fleeing. He was sentenced to 15 years for strong arm robbery, which is a maximum sentence. 10 years for the take car, also maximum sentence. And felony fleeing, 10 years, also maximum sentence. They are to run consecutively, which means he will have to finish one sentence before he can begin the other. So this is a total of 35 years that he will have to serve. He may have pretended to have a gun, but the jail time is not pretend. So he will have to serve that time out. And that keeps Olive Branch safe. I want to reiterate the fact that this is not a reflection of Olive Branch as a community. This is not gang-related. This is not an indication of an ongoing issue. This is just one bad actor that's not from here, came here from out of state and did something rather stupid. And I want to commend the Olive Branch Police Department for very quickly responding. As the mayor mentioned, this was an incident where Mr. Woodley pretended like he had a weapon, basically snatched the keys away from a 74-year-old lady and took off with her car. There was another citizen that observed the victim, went to check on her. 911 was called right away, and it was a matter of moments before the Olive Branch Police was there. One of the fastest response times you could possibly hope for. I hope residents feel good knowing that the Olive Branch Police is very active and present in the community. Their presence is known. Even though he tried to run, there was no running. Not successfully going to run away from the Olive Branch Police Department. So he was apprehended. The officers did a great job. It's a situation that was dangerous for them whenever you have to chase somebody, but they were able to do that without getting hurt themselves or without hurting the suspect. And so now he can face the consequences. I want to give some credit to my Assistant District Attorney, Steve Jubera, who did the legwork on this to get us to the finish line. I think that this case also highlights the importance of cameras. We were able to catch a lot of this on cameras that are owned by the Olive Branch Police Department. That really helps us to get the results we need. And so I think Olive Branch is fortunate to have a city that funds the equipment that the police need so that we can follow up and do our job. Olive Branch has a reputation for no nonsense when it comes to following the law, and we try to honor that whenever they give us a case. And I think this is a reflection of that teamwork, and we were happy to be involved. I know that we've covered a good bit of ground. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Do we have a name? I haven't heard a name yet.
His name is Rakeem Woodley.
Rakeem?
Yes, sir. Rakeem Woodley, Woodley.
Was his residence Milwaukee?
His last known residence was the state penitentiary in Wisconsin. I'm not sure what he did in the 7 or so weeks after he got out.
Somehow he escaped from there.
Well, he was released.
He was released.
He did his time there. It was not a lot of time, and so that's why we went as hard as we could this time, because he had his chance to learn and he didn't. So he'll have 35 years now.
And so that's why you're calling him a transient, then, apparently.
Yeah, that's right, because he's not from here. He doesn't have ties to this community he was passing through.
Okay. Do you have an age?
26.
Yeah, I think he was 26,
Okay.
and our victim was 74. Any other questions?
Can you talk about, just again, how serious it is, whether it's a real gun or a fake gun?
Yeah, so the impact on the victim is the same. You know, she has no way of knowing that this guy's pretending. He keeps his hand in his pocket, comes up behind her, presses against her back, snatches her keys. When that happens to a victim suddenly, they don't have time to assess the situation. The mindset of the victim is, I'm being robbed, my life is in danger, and that's a very scary thing. And so I don't care if you have a fake gun, no gun, or a real gun. We're gonna treat this with as much seriousness as we can. So even though, like I said, even though he was pretending to have a gun, he still robbed her. And that's the difference between an armed robbery and a strong arm robbery. Armed robbery actually involves the use of a deadly weapon. Strong arm robbery does not require the use of a weapon. It just requires that element of placing someone in fear and physically taking something from the person of another.
I have a quick question about something unrelated. We are reporting that Olive Branch Police, there's a heavy police presence this morning on DeSoto Road and Metro Road. We're hearing a bomb may have been found. Wondering if you could give any information.
Yeah, so that's not really my place to comment on because my office is not involved in that. If you don't have any questions about the present matter, then I'm just going to turn it back to the City of Olive Branch, and they can address whatever questions they're inclined to.
Just a quick one.
Yes, sir.
We just noticed a bunch throughout the press conference, not from here, not from here. Is this kind of sending a message to other communities, right down the road from Memphis that, the harshest penalties down here will happen?
I really hope that is the message that's being received. I've stood at pulpits across the county saying, hey, we have a real problem with Memphis crime coming in. But it's not just Memphis. We run some numbers, and I think it's safe to say well more than half of our crimes or felony crimes in DeSoto County are committed by people from outside DeSoto County, whether that's Memphis, Tunica, Coahoma County, or other states like in this case. So we are proud of the community we have. We work hard for it. The citizens here work really hard for the things that we have, and these parks, we work hard for that, and we're not going to let some out-of-town thug take these things away from us. So if you come here from another place, we're going to hit you just as hard as we possibly can, and we will change your address to the penal farm in Parchman, Mississippi. So
where is he now? Is he still in DeSoto County Jail, or has he been transferred?
So it is my understanding that he is awaiting transfer from our county facility to the state facility. We have a bus that runs periodically, and I'm sure he'll be on the next one.
So what, did he be going to Parchman or someplace else?
MDOC will determine placement for everybody. Generally, violent offenders do end up in Parchman almost always. So with that, I'll give it back to the city, and I appreciate everyone's attention.
Thank you.
Thank you, District Attorney Matthew Barton. To answer your question, there is an active crime scene at this time on DeSoto Road, near the State Line Road. A suspicious package was located this morning when employees showed up to work. That's the knowns at this point. The Olive Branch Police Department is working with the Shelby County Sheriff's Department and looking at that package and trying to determine exactly what it is. Again, an active crime scene right now. Okay. Any other questions?
Do you believe we'll be getting a news release or some further information on that situation when available?
Absolutely. That news release is forthcoming in the next hour as soon as that scene's cleared. Most of it's cleared now, and they're doing their final checks, and then we'll do a press release, Bob, at that time.
Great.
Okay. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.